So all of these paintings start with an idea, and this one's no different. I knew that I wanted a point of land with a number of sheds, maybe abandoned, maybe partly used, but something with a bit of history. So the first thing I just had was that idea, right? I didn't know exactly what the sky is going to be. I still don't. I didn't know what the foreground was going to be. Now I have sort of an idea, that's all. So without worrying too much about the other stuff, I knew how I needed to compositionally structure the canvas. That's what I worried about first. So as you can see, as you could see, maybe not now, but in the first one you could see I had various charcoal lines here and there, many of which I wiped out. And after a couple of iterations with charcoal, I thought, okay, that looks alright. It's time for me to lay in some dark lines. So I've gotten to that point now here with my idea. My idea has now become a drawing. Sure, it's just a line drawing. It's all I need. I don't need to shade things in with charcoal or with paint yet. First I'm going to do all the outlines. So the idea turned into a drawing. I still need to I'd like to lay in some lines of darker paint on this grassy hill behind here. I need to design my rocky structure a little more thoroughly with some dark lines before I wash them in. So I got over to this end of things, and you know, I like the idea, but I don't like this anymore, of these very long lines on the left hand side. It's not about what's plausible as far as what you would actually see, it's about the design of the painting, about what bothers my eye and what doesn't bother my eye. This already bothers my eye. I need to break this a little bit. I don't want those lines. I don't want to carry this line on all the way through. I don't think I'm going to continue with a partly fence that cuts across, but I do not want vertical lines going across here. So, and then this chunk of fence is so close, it'd be hard for me to sort of wipe out those lines. So I may take a piece of plywood. Go to this edge of the fence, nail it on there because this fence might be falling apart too much. Or maybe there is some juniper growing here, a small bush that will occupy this area and cover up these lines. I'm not putting low ground cover. I'm not going to paint that on these distant rocks because they're far enough away. I don't want to worry about detail. But here I can afford to do that. So we'll see. I haven't decided yet. But this part of the painting is still just an idea. I usually do that on a large painting. I'll only worry about the most important parts first. I'll secure them once I'm happy with them, and then I'll add ideas to it and I'll slowly develop and secure them. I'm really happy with this. Still not exactly sure how I'm going to do this, but I'm going to keep scratching with my charcoal, wiping it off, scratching with my charcoal, wiping it off. And then you end up with this series of small epiphanies as you go along that make the mass seem, stronger and stronger and stronger. Number one, worry about the design. Number two, fit plausibility into that design. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm really happy with this. Yeah, maybe some ground cover would be good. The area that it's in, Great Lakes area, I think I described, there's a lot of juniper. There could even be some low cover, well, maybe not sumac on bedrock, but it's Canadian shield low ground cover, or Cambrian shield actually, low ground cover. You can have wild blueberries for all that goes. You can have all kinds of things, so I'm not worried about it. Moss lichen, as I said, there's going to be grass as well. Okay, what was I going to say? I guess that's about it for the moment. It's coming well. I like it. I may not even now that I have this in, I already have a better idea how to handle these lines down here. But as long as this was just charcoal, I found it more difficult to judge what I had down here because this was still too weak and fuzzy and smudgy. But now it's a nice, strong, direct, I decided where my buildings were going to be. I put them in proportionally. I sort of have the structure here. Removed some things, added some things, and just shoved a few things over this way and that way. I don't know what I'm going to do next. I may work on this. I don't have to. I might just, actually, go into, I'm really planning on going with a grayish blue sky. And because the work is so tedious, I may just take some of my turpentine, wash in approximately the value and hue that I want, and cut in all the way around where the building and the land meets the sky, and where the sky will meet the water, the distant water here. Not sure what I'm going to do next, but I guess we'll see pretty soon. Because, yeah, well, why not?